Wonderful. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Joan Kangshin, and I'm a professor of education and director of the Division of Advanced Professional Teacher Development and International Education in the School of Education at George Mason University. In addition, I'm also the director of the Global Online Teacher Education Center, or GOTEC, at Mason, which is the host and sponsor for this webinar today. I work with GOTEC Associate Directors Jared Borup and Anya Evmanova and our faculty affiliates to further the mission of GOTEC, which is to advance research and pedagogy in online teacher education and professional development around the world that is inclusive, accessible, and culturally and linguistically responsive and sustaining. GOTEC's work further strengthens the College of Education and Human Development as a global leader in the teacher preparation by exploring innovations in teaching and learning to advance the field of teacher education in online environments. So if you would like to know a little bit more about GOTEC, our research, and our many projects around the world, please check out our website, and I will put the link in the chat box. Here we go. All right. So I just ask that you click on the link and then read through our website in about an hour so that you can put your full attention on our special presenter, Dr. Larisa Olesova. Larisa Olesova is a clinical assistant professor in the School of Teaching and Learning at the University of Florida. Previously, she worked as a senior instructional designer for George Mason University. Her research focuses on distance education, specifically asynchronous online learning environments. Other areas of research and practice include aspects of online presence, the community of inquiry, instructional strategies and best practices in online teaching. She has co-authored one book, 2 peer-reviewed journal articles, and 11 book chapters to date, in addition to other publications, and has presented in over 30 sessions at regional, state, national, and international conferences. And now she will be presenting here in an event sponsored by GOTEC at George Mason University about exploring the potential and the pitfalls of providing feedback using video and audio. So without further ado, Larisa, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, John, for introducing. And good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mason friends. It's so nice to see familiar faces. Just make me feel a little bit more comfortable, not too nervous. Yeah, hi, Darlene. Hi, Stephanie. And thanks for inviting me. I feel very honored and excited, of course, to have this opportunity to share my experience with best practices and specifically with audio and video feedback. And working as an instructional designer for George Mason, I know that Mason faculty use this approach frequently, but mostly in language learning and teaching, because this is, I think, the area where it's in alignment with objectives for learning. But it's also widely used in other disciplines to provide feedback for different students' projects, but we'll discuss more about applications. And first, I just want to share with you that I planned this, and when I discussed with Jared and John about the format, delivery, and overall expectations for this webinar, whether it should be very structured and what the expectations and who the audience will be. And I received the answers, so it's half and half. So I decided to have this half formal, just with the information that we all need, and have this informal. And I also prepared screenshots just to save our connection and time. And I shared with you the slide. You can download the PDF and use now with clickable links to explore on your own. And during this presentation and webinar, I am completely flexible. If you want to me to repeat or show something on the screen, that's also doable, and it's totally fine because we are colleagues. We are in the same area of teaching and learning. We all want to improve our practices to help students improve their learning, improve their performance, depending, of course, on the subject area. And we'll discuss where and how to provide, because it's the area, it's been in the field for a while, of course. Once technology become very affordable and accessible, starting from maybe when tape recorders entered the market, and language teachers started using it for providing feedback. So any questions so far, wishes, or something else, feel free to use the chat, because I open chat in front of me. And again, before I share my experience, how this interest became my professional area for research and practice, just wanna know a little bit about you. Just give me a thumb up, or use chat, or grab a mic. So how many of you here from education, from the field of education? So you can put plus sign on chat, or just thumb up. Okay. Hey, hi, Penny. Nice to see you. Okay. So how many of you are administrators here? From training? Okay. And how many of you here from STEM area? Oh, Frank, which area are you from? Engineering or math? Physics, okay. How many of you from K-12? Or what was K-12? Was teachers? Okay. And the last question, looks like so all of us are from higher ed, right? Teacher education, Stephanie, yeah. Higher ed, okay. So when we discuss benefits, limitations, and the ways to provide audio or video, we'll discuss different areas, including STEM education. And if we have only one physics, so we may emphasize physics. Okay, so a little bit about myself, how I arrived at this topic, and you also can share why are you interested in audio and video feedback. So I was a graduate student in my almost final years, like maybe almost the final year, looking and searching for the topic for my dissertation. It was at Purdue University, and my advisor, she said, just look and find and send me the topic. This is how it happens, right? And I was in that situation, just was at the intersection of TESOL. This is my first area, teaching English as a foreign language, and also educational technology and instructional design, how to find these connections. And it was very hard time, but then I took the course with my advisor. It was distance education, principles of distance education. And we had an invited guest, Phil Ice, Dr. Phil Ice. And he facilitated, each week we had guest facilitators for our online discussion. I think it was one of the greatest ideas to implement into any online courses, because each time you interact with different experts, and they were all invited experts. So we had the chance to talk to famous people in the field. And Phil Ice, he facilitated 1 week, and then he shared that, oh, you can provide audio feedback. It was one of the questions from a student asking how I can engage students or any other things. And he posted, oh, no. He just posted, just provide audio feedback. And I was thinking, why audio if you can do text? It's simple, faster, and save your time, right? And that's what I always hear from faculty or sometimes even from students. So, and I answered back, replied back. I don't see any differences between text-based feedback and audio feedback. So what the matter to provide and spend your time on recording this audio? And he recorded the audio feedback for me and posted on a discussion board, and I clicked on the audio icon, and it changed everything. I heard his voice, I heard his tone, I heard his message, and I was immediately in the environment of real situation, sitting and talking to him. Like my perception completely changed, and I was immediately there and wanted that topic to explore. And then here, as again a doctoral student, thinking how my research will contribute to the field, right? And here, again, that online discussions going on, I was thinking about this topic, and discussion was going on. And then by the end of the discussion, Phil Ice, he posted that even audio feedback has been examined mostly qualitatively. So no well-measured quantitative study has been yet done in the field. And no study done about ESL, about second language speakers, and it was there. So, and the next day I went to the office of my advisor and shared that I want to do research, quantitative first, measure the effectiveness. And then I want the audience ESL. And I use my Russian students. I originally from Russia, from Siberia. And I did experimental study and also applied to solve turf. This is a doctoral dissertation grant, and I received money. And I used that money to make my experimental study happen. And I recruited one native speaker, and we compared native speaker and non-native speaker. Non-native speaker was me, and native speaker was my friend from the program. And it helped to cover all the expenses, and even for students, where I think did some incentives. So this is how I came to audio feedback. And today, before we discuss how and where, this is what we understand, and I understand, just to stay on the same page, what feedback is. And I use this in my dissertation. I always use in all the publications when I publish about audio feedback. But my area is audio feedback. I know Jared is video feedback, and this is how we met at the conference. I'll share this a little bit later. So this is information provided by an agent. Anyone can provide feedback, not only instructors. Peers. So the book, Parent, Self, and also Experience. So this is from the article. But what is the purpose of the feedback? So improving performance. So expected performance, desired performance, and actual performance. You should need to make changes. So comparing performances. And when we provide feedback, 7 conditions should be frequent. And I'm talking about mostly about individualized feedback, instructional feedback, because peers also can provide feedback, and group feedback, like announcement also can be a feedback. If you do, I admit it, John, is it fine? Good. It's frequent with the goal to improve the performance. If it's writing, I think it makes sense. Focus only on the performance. Don't discuss other things. Timely, because if it's provided like a little bit later, so students may not have time to adjust and make changes to the assignment. That's why timing is very important. Right now, I use this a lot. because I teach educational technology project-based, and each milestone depends on the previous one. So I should provide very fast this feedback. Appropriate, you probably need to focus maybe on one or two, emphasize, don't cover everything, right? So smaller things can be done in text-based, but bigger things like content or one major improvement could be done through recording. And make sure that it's received and attended. Sometimes students receive, but don't listen. But you think that they listen to you? Make sure, and also students make actions. If they make revisions, if they also listen and follow, or even if they don't agree with your comments, they also can provide their feedback. Okay, so next, this all about feedback and in online environment. And when we talk about asynchronous, fully online, when you don't see students separated by distance, voices, of course, videos also impact on teaching presence, instructor presence, on social presence. So it like generate the sense of being there, right? That's the goal of adding all these voices. Okay, and when we talk about online feedback and online, it also helps for developing self-regulation skills, that students take control of their learning. They need to know what they need to read and where do you do all these things. You support this self-regulation. In face-to-face, you meet them, see them, right? This is how it happens. But in asynchronous, sometimes they getting late or miss some details, and with audio feedback of the tone, so you also can help develop these skills. For self-assessment, when you talk to them, and again, I'm talking about individualized instructional feedback when you are one-to-one with your student. It also helps self-assess their learning too through listening. And a dialogue. So you build a dialogue. It's not like you are wrong, I am right, right? It's a dialogue, building dialogue, relations, just to provide maybe support and share nice things, but at the same time, focus on the performance. Okay, let's read chat starting for doctorate in educational psychology technology. Frank, you're in the right area. I think this is where the field right now is developing to, like connecting STEM and psychology and technology. It fits better to frame your examples in educational technology. Okay, we'll talk about tools. So theoretical foundation is done. Now we are going to applications, and this is the article, and I do have references at the end, and we'll talk about tools too. So now after this slide, we'll have more fun slides with different tools and how you provide, and you'll share your experiences as well. I believe that you all are familiar with the tools I will share today. When Borup and Jared and I met at the conference at ACT, it's Association for Communication in Educational Communication and Technology, Computing and Technology. So the Association for Instructional Designers, Educational Technologies, and this is the conference where we usually build our network, and mostly like faculty and students work there more. So when I was the first year at Mason, I went to ACT, and my advisor, Dr. Richardson, she said, Larisa, someone is looking for you, asking about you. I was thinking, who is asking about me? At the conference at ACT, and here Jared. And I saw Jared first time, never seen him, never met him before. It was the first time. At that time, he was an intern in ACT. Usually, I think 4 or 3 people become intern of the conference. It's a privilege and it's a big achievement. He was an intern at that time, and I was so honored talking to one of the interns at that time, and also felt very proud of that we have similar interests. He worked on the video feedback at that time, and I completed my audio feedback, and we talk about it. And then a year later, I think Jared, he joined Mason, and we decided to put this, our two dissertation, into one piece and practical piece for book chapter. So this is what, when we discuss audio and video feedback, we identified three benefits, three potential. Timing, it can be asynchronous, but right now, I think Zoom is also can be the way for asynchronous and synchronous feedback. We can talk about it. It can be recorded. That's for students learning. They can repeat, play it again. It can be extensive on content base, right? Different. Instead of asking students to read the text, sometimes they may read and have some misinterpretation. We'll talk about limitations. Timing. So content and clarity, it's more in depth, so you can provide more information. And what we notice, it impact on retention. So retention of knowledge and retention of them staying in the course. So I think building relations, showing them your attention through providing this feedback, audio or video, so students feel that the instructor cares about them. Read their work, instructor is here, and then they stay in the course. So the I think they don't usually drop the course, at least like from research. And nuances. Sometimes when students read text feedback, sometimes they feel angry. If you do have this experience, right? Sometimes they have negative emotions that you need to, again, accommodate and explain, but audio and video can also add more of the tone. Even you provide negative information, so your tone, gentle, can also help students feel comfortable. And as I mentioned, helps a lot build relations. Right now, I am noticing this a lot. Students who listen and follow audio or video feedback, record it, I provide combination of, depending on the task. They usually are willing to come to the office hours, they schedule one-on-one, and they feel motivated to improve their work. And they learn instead of copying and pasting from the book into the assignment, they put themselves into writing this project. Okay, so these nice things, and now limitations. Of course, time is one of the, I think it's on the list. When I share benefits of audio or video feedback, the audience usually say, oh, we don't have time. So it's better for me just to provide text-based feedback. And we don't talk that what is good, what is bad, right? Text-based can be provided for specific area, audio and video, depending on the goal and your objectives and the task you have in your course. But limitations are, of course, time for faculty to adjust to this routine. First, technology, also neat environment. You need to block your time. If it's video, you need to dress up, look nice, right? And then also relieve your emotions, not to look very busy. So all these nuances immediately can be picked by students when they listen to you or watch your video. And you need practice, right? Sometimes some tools don't allow you to record again, edit, but you have to record again. So that sometimes instructors don't feel worth their time, but once they learn how to do it, they try to use it for faster communication. And it's very context-based. It's not applicable in any field. Like in physics, I see that it can be done through screen sharing, on complicated things to explain how to. But for simple things, I think text-based is better. And students also need time to listen, right? Again, they cannot find your feedback on your phone, on their mobile devices, and just read what you ask them to complete or revise. So they need to sit, listen, take notes. So again, it's extra work for students, but it's worse. And about accent. So especially with, of course, second language speakers. If you are not native speaker, sometimes this can be challenging. Right now, I want to share with you, I don't see challenges providing this audio or video feedback to native speakers because they speak mostly and get the major things in the correct way. But if I provide this to ESL from different language background, here we have challenges. So language to language, probably maybe attachments are different. Like it's not a problem to provide audio feedback to Russian speakers because they pick immediately what I want to say. But those with Chinese, the Chinese language, they asked me, in addition to recorded voice, provide text too. And that's why I use Zoom, because Zoom captures also script. So you provide video or audio and also script. What about adding transition, transcript? Yeah. This is all best practices that we learn when you provide. I think right now, even Zoom right now, we can use closed captions and you can see my text. I try it, but it doesn't pick my speech correctly. That's why I decided not to use. I find that Zoom is good for screen recording with scripts, but if you don't have these tools, so you provide some text feedback. Okay, so from my experience on audio or video feedback, but I mostly talk about audio, and I'll explain why you'll see in next examples. So once someone experiences the voice feedback, video feedback, usually they like it. But I think depending on the personality of students. And right now I give students choices. I ask them what they want to receive, what they prefer to receive. And they respond, and I provide either video, audio, but the majority of them want text-based feedback. For second language speakers, be careful. Sometimes from our research, I think it was on I don't want just to emphasize the languages, but the research was done in STEM area where the professor provided feedback in English with a heavy accent. That feedback didn't work, and that I think findings were about misunderstanding and the way how to provide feedback and the task aligned. So be careful if you are a second language speaker, or if you're providing to second language speakers, here you need to provide more support. Direct and short, it should be short, because no one wants to listen like 20 minutes, even 15 minutes. Maximize up to 3-5 maximum, I would recommend, because attention usually lost, and stay on the main idea. And provide at the beginning of the semester, not always. At the beginning of semester, I think it's always helpful to build a relation. Then students open up, you open up, you know each other better, and it can help you build a relation, especially in asynchronous online courses. If you're teaching hybrid, if you're teaching face-to-face, This feedback can be also extension of your in-class instruction, but also individualized. But if you provide announcement as a feedback, if you teach large enrollment courses, for example, in psychology where I design, professors provide like for 400, 600 students, after discussions, they ask, and John will immediately recognize your research and dissertation on the roles, like they use summarizers in each group, like 10 groups, 10 summaries, and professor provide synthesis of their summaries and then record video feedback, still providing feedback to students on the major areas to improve, like desired performance and actual performance, instead of just providing group by group feedback. So it's also doable. Okay, now we are moving and good to timing. Any questions so far? I want you just to relax, sit, listen. If you want, use chat or grab a mic. So now, Frank, we are moving to educational technology. So we'll talk about tools, computer-based tools and web-based tools. Because in educational
Frank has
technology,
a question. Frank, did you have a question?
I do. At what point is it too many students to provide feedback for? Is there like a sweet spot, like 20 students, or at what point does it become impractical?
it's a good question. So individualized feedback, you can provide, there is no number. It depends on the task. But of course, if you have 100 students, so it's impossible. Here you need to find other strategies. Right now, I teach 30 students and I feel quite comfortable providing because it helps also save time, avoiding a lot of one-on-one meetings because it's a project, instructional design project where I need to explain a lot. But if you, in physics, I think it will be better to have grouping. And if the issues are the same. So I would prefer a class synthesis, but pointing the main areas. But for individualized feedback, I would recommend to provide to those who need extra support. Maybe they are making slow progress, so you may provide this extra support with your presence to that student, maybe explaining through screenshot, I think in this way. But usually writing classes like where 10, 12 students are very comfortable with this number of students. But I don't think like more than 30 students would be a good idea because you spend all your time just recording this feedback. Just think about other strategies if it's possible. Right now, for me, it's individual projects. And I don't have any options except like maybe synthesizing the major areas. Okay. Yeah, see you later, Stephanie. Review feedback, you immediately can see because if no revisions done, you can get in touch and ask the student. But usual students listen. And if you grade and provide the lower grade, they immediately pick this attention and they ask. And then if you give one more chance to revise and improve the grade, then they listen and revise. It's also one of the strategies. But at Mason, when I taught at Mason, I taught mostly full-time workers, and I was very, very careful with providing feedback. I mostly stayed on text, but up to the point, because people are busy and they need to learn and move forward. Yes, Eugene, right? Eugene. I'll show how I'll provide. So now to fun stuff. Probably you see familiar tools. These are the tools I use usually in my practice and can share benefits and limitations of using them. The first one, Audacity, I really love. It's been on the market like for a long time. And one of my first faculty at Mason, he loves using Audacity. He records everything with Audacity. He's professor from public policy. And why Audacity is good? It's free. It's free and you can edit. If you want to cut off or pauses, so it's a perfect thing. And I can show if we do have time. Vocaro, how many of you, it's a web-based. It's pretty fast, web-based, but it has some limitations too. Vocaro, for Audacity, you need to download this software on your desktop. But Vocaro, you don't need. It's free, it's web-based. You just open Vocaro, record your voice, download, done. How many of you are familiar with Vocaro? Okay, so you may try. It's free. It's been for a while, and I use this for my experimental study. And the limitation is I save all the audio feedback on the website, on the Vocaro website, and they kept only for half a year and gone. So I didn't know about that. So now I'm downloading and saving everything on my flash drive. So Adobe Acrobat Reader, it's a good question. For Audacity, no. Vocaro, no. If you play them through Zoom, that could be done, but it's better to record through Zoom. That's a limitation for Audacity and Vocaro. I've been using Adobe Acrobat Pro. How many of you use Adobe Pro in practice for different purposes, not necessarily for audio? I've been using this for embedded audio feedback. I'll show it to you what I mean. And embedded audio feedback is very helpful if you provide like several, specifically to this sentence, to this paragraph, not like overall. So of course you can provide overall, but embedded is just embedded into PDF, helpful for students. And right now, while preparing for this webinar, I found out that Reader also has this capability, and Reader is free, so you can use it for free. And I think that Mason now provides Pro for free for Mason faculty. It's through Adobe package, I think. So if you're at Mason, just get subscription, get the license. And if you don't have Pro, try Reader, and it goes to comment. I'll show where you find. And as Weijian, I hope I pronounced correctly. So any learning management system is a house for grading, for providing your feedback, right? And Audacity can be used, and you place it there as MP3 file. Vocaro for download as MP3 upload it there. Pro is PDF, you can upload and attach as a file. And in Canvas, it also has embedded video and audio tools. But here I should check about script generated or caption generated in Canvas. This is Audacity, how it looks like. So it's very easy to use. You can edit and cut it, straightforward process. This is Vocaro. Let me, so when you open Vocaro, if you open now, so you see this button. When you click on this button, you immediately, you don't need to subscribe, login, create an account, very convenient. So you just record if it's fast. And you have multiple ways. You can even share a QR code. You can download and you can save, and you even share on social media. Okay. Next, this is Adobe Pro, and Adobe Reader, I think, looks the same. Let me open highlighter. So when you open Reader, so find comment area, because I think you can provide comment on Reader. If you click on comment, area, so you'll get this menu, right? And click on comment or drop down. It should have record audio. So you just click on it and you record. You can also upload MP3, or if you're on Mac, it's AIITF, I guess. That's it. If you record in advance, you can upload the file. Okay, and I'll show more Adobe steps. And this is LMS. This is how I provide audio feedback, and its combination like major points text that students see quickly, and here just overall on the major, like improving performance, one major area to discuss. And it was a little bit long, so I recorded two. I usually don't record, try to avoid, just save students time and don't minimize their motivation to learn. Okay, so now video tools. So videos is good because they can see you, and sometimes faculty ask, is it a good idea to show yourself? I think it's good when you provide feedback because they see your expression. If you want to build relation and also build community on online, or even if you're in face-to-face and providing this feedback, I think it's also connecting you with your student. These tools are probably very familiar to you. Screen Customatic, again, been for a while, but as the progress is moving on, so tools also updated, and it has more features right now. Now you can edit. If before you couldn't edit, now you can edit, and it's free. It's a new feature that just recently added, and thanks, John, that you invited. I did some exploration. I didn't know about that. TextMist, if you remember Jink, embedded recording button, if you remember from TextMist, like yellow ball, if you use this. So TextMist capture, replace it, and it's also free, but it's not on your desktop, which is very convenient. It's like somewhere on your screen. It doesn't close your screen with all these arrows that Jink before had. And both are free. Screen Customatic and TextMist and Camtasia. It's not free. It's you need to purchase license. It's I think about 300. So, and again in Canvas and Blackboard, I think you also can record, and if you use Kaltura, you also can attach Kaltura. Snagit, yes. Snagit, I think they come sometimes together. Yeah, Frank, yes. Both are for license. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is Screen Customatic homepage, and this is the recording area. But you need to download this recorder before recording, and then when you sign out, once you close this website, you lose everything. You have to do it again and go back, sign in. So this is just limitation, but it's very convenient for recording screen and explain students. If you in, let's say in coding, programming in computer science, for example, right? And explaining how these codes work, I think recording screening and placing these codes, or where to place and how to write, would be, I think, helpful for students. Screen recording also good for writing, or not writing, for if you work on design, in design area, like if students create PowerPoint that you want to show like more how to change colors and other things. So creating websites, so this more creative things. This is a TextMist capture. Again, once you download it, you have this button pretty fast, and you have options, several options, and it's free. You can try it. I haven't tried it yet, but would like to try because it's free. Camtasia, I use this all the time because it's more powerful and it has more features. If you want to create fancy videos, instructional videos, I think Camtasia is a good idea because you can use different transitions and zoom in, zoom out effects, so all these things to make more engaging videos. But for feedback, providing feedback, I don't think you need all those engaging features because you stay up on improving performance. Or if you record a screen, I think zoom in, zoom out would be helpful too, especially on your have this like URL with tiny letters, that would be good. Okay, and this is how video feedback looks in learning management system. Right now, I'm in Canvas. Okay, these are popular interaction tools for audio and video. They have audio and video options. Flip, previous Flipgrid, and it's free. Padlet, and we do have Padlet. If you want Padlet, you can ask Darlene. Darlene is here from Stern Center. Padlet is free for 3 walls right now. But if you submit your ticket to Stern Center, you'll get this unlimited. VoiceThread is still licensed, but I know that we do have license. Darlene should know about it. And you also can fill out the form, VoiceThread. This is Flip, how Flip looks like. You see it has a lot of options. So make it pretty. And I use Flip in TESOL a lot because I'm involved in Electronic Village Online. It's free training for everyone. If you're interested in learning more about tools, about best practices to teach, you can check TESOL Electronic Village. And we use Flip for presentations. It's limited up to 10 minutes, and it's good that we get usual 10-minute videos to showcase presentations. This is Padlet homepage. And this is a beautiful Mason wall with all the paths we created, some of them public, some of them mine, some of them from other courses. And this is Padlet wall, when you create your wall and place it. Here you cannot provide individual feedback. It's good just for building social relations. It's good for introduction at the beginning of the semester. And only your main post can be recorded with audio or video. If you provide comment, it's still text-based. And you see options to record audio or video here. And again, it's improving. Okay, this is VoiceThread, probably you use in your practice. I don't have extensive experience and preferences for this tool, and that's why I want to move faster. Just to finish, we have 10 minutes. So now I'm showing you Pro, Adobe Pro. And it's from a real course I supported, and it was my first course when I consulted the faculty in my instructional design career. It was Professor at Purdue, teaching asynchronous online course, and we used that audio feedback first time for case study reports because that assignment had 3 milestones for improvements, and we saw that it's applicable there. So we use Audacity pre-record in advance and then attach to Adobe. So that's the example of case study. So the major areas like limitation, I think issues on the left and text-based on the right. And here is how it looks like in Adobe Pro when you provide comment area, recording, then file shows up, and this is what students see. And students also need to learn how to listen. Yes? the question, Frank?
Yes, on some of these free tools, is there a time limit on them, or is there like you can only record so many comments before you have to purchase a license or stuff like that?
Free, they are unlimited. Camtasia has free trial, but you need to then purchase license. But those that I showed free, they are free forever, unlimited.
Yeah, I just looked up Screencast-O-Matic online, and they say they have unlimited, you can make an unlimited number of videos, as a part of their free program. But those videos can't be more than 15 minutes each.
Yeah, the length is limited. Yeah, like in Flip. Thanks, Darlene. Okay, next, this is the option. You can record. You also can choose the file. From pre-recorded file. Okay, going fast. Okay, and I'm showing where to get, how to get. Okay, you have a choice to pick the icon you want. So I always pick sound because it's meaningful. Okay, and you see I attached the edit icon. You can play around. And these resources, and you do have this in PDF file that I shared with you, free tools, so the links. Feel free to ask any questions before you use them, what to avoid, what to expect as a tool, as technology-based support. These are publications about audio feedback that I published since my graduation, and mostly on ESL and EFL environment, because that's the area of my interest. And here in Florida, I want to continue to explore more on this, especially for accent-based, like accent to accent. These are EDUCAUSE resources. Jared was part of that team. They recorded very nice practical, published practical articles with steps to show how to provide good feedback, and they are mostly on video, as that's the area of Jared's expertise, especially like lightning, so how to see it, all these tips I think very helpful. I'm not good with video best practices, but thank you so much for your questions, for your interest, and I want to stop sharing, and we are open to.
Thank you, Larissa. Did you want to share one of your examples? If you still have that open, that might be kind of interesting for our audience. By the way, I put your PDF again in the chat in case some people who came later didn't get a chance to see that, and you can download that.
Yeah. Okay, let me share. Okay, now it's hi Becky, nice to see you. I just open and see everyone now. Okay, let me know if you see PDF. Yes. And this is what I mean, embedded, but of course you can embed into the student paper. You can place it anywhere. When we use that from that in English teaching, I think, of course, for English teachers, for pre-service teachers, I think in content area, ELL content area. And this is embedded. Are you ready?
Hi, Alsu. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I don't want it to be a preposition, like you said. I really liked that. I had an opportunity to read your case study, and I wanted to give you some feedback on what you did in your report. So overall, I think that you did an excellent job in the setup, the classroom context, and under the use of language, you were able to incorporate the readings into that section too. That wasn't really part of the assignment, but I thought that it worked really well in how you were explaining what was going on in the classroom. Just be a little careful not to overdo it in that section, because really what I want you to focus on is the use of language by the teacher and the ELL. Okay, and how the ELL is interacting with the other students in the class and so on. So you can incorporate some of the readings there. Just again, just be careful not to overdo it in that section, since there is a specific section just focused on your reflections and connections to the readings. I think for the most part that was the main feedback that I wanted to give you in terms of the reflections and connections to readings. We are not going to provide any recommendations to help the teacher as you did in that section. Really, this section is for you to reflect on what happened in the classroom, the use of language, again, the language development of the ELL, and not so much focus on recommendations for the teacher, okay? So that is the main thing for that particular section. You did a great job incorporating different readings, you know, just various topics and concepts from different readings. So that was, I think that you should just continue doing that. Just a word of caution when you...
Okay, so what limitations you cannot stop embedded. That's why you should be very careful of the length. But this is the overall, and we calculated the time for providing audio feedback. An instructor, before, she spent 1 week providing text-based feedback on their works, but here we spent 2 hours in the office recording all the audio feedback together. I was her tech support, at the same time training, at the same time grading. So it was, I think, a really collaborative moment to work together, and I enjoyed. And I received permission to use these materials, and we presented the conference also at TESOL.
Thanks for that. It's always nice to have an example so that we can see exactly what you're talking about. I really appreciate that. Are there any questions that you have for Larisa before our time is up today? Okay, well, I'm going to put our GOTEC website there one more time for those who are just joining us. So as I've mentioned before, GOTEC sponsored this webinar. We thank Larisa so much for her useful presentation. Also, you know, she was a member of GOTEC when she was here at Mason, but now she's at University of Florida. And we just thank her for spending the time with us today to share her expertise.
Thanks, John. And I'm just reading nice chat messages. He said, I'm so happy. Just stay in touch. We can work together if you want, and I can share with you more practical, instructional, or maybe secrets.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you know, I use Adobe Acrobat all the time, and I never noticed that you could give audio feedback. I feel a little bit embarrassed, but I thank you for enlightening me on that.
But what is bad in LMS, you cannot immediately record, because PDF on the left, you cannot do that. You have to do it separately. And then why PDF and PowerPoint also has, but PDF is portable format that easy to attach and send to students.
Wonderful. Thanks for that tip. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And please feel free to contact us or contact Larisa. Thank you.
And nice to see you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.